Yeah, if you're also dancing when you hear the intro, throw a one in the chat for me. Or throw like a
I need to
dancing
throw one.
emoji. Yeah, throw like a dancing emoji or something.
Only ones in the air. Only ones in the air.
Love it. Happy Monday, you guys.
Welcome to the Monday Rundown on Say That channel, where Winston and I get to talk about all the things we don't get to talk about on our Wednesday show, where we normally focus on entrepreneurship. And so we love to talk about current events, things that are happening in the world, mindset stuff, and relationship advice, things like that.
Mhm.
Today, actually, we're falling into the last thing we mentioned, relationship advice. And when you guys share with us the topics and things that you want us to talk about, we go to content creators and thought leaders and hear what they have to say. So that way we can all learn together and grow and get better in this journey we call life. We are excited to have you on. So make sure you put all your comments in the comment section. We love to get them. We respond to all of them. We want to hear what you guys have to say.
Let's jump into the topic for today.
Can a relationship truly be repaired? Can it though? Can a relationship be repaired? I think it can. I think it takes effort from both people.
Yeah.
I think both people have to want to repair it. I think if there's somebody who doesn't, I don't think it'll ever be repaired if there's one person who doesn't. And I know that for sure because I know that I've had some previous relationships where the men wanted to repair and I was like, it is not going to be repaired. And so that won't work, right? So both people have to be willing and desiring that end result. And then I think it probably takes extremely open communication, accountability.
Okay.
For what each person played in the breakdown of the relationship. And
this is so interesting.
I think it's probably going to result in a lot of conversation around what somebody did or said that somebody thought was hurtful to them.
Okay.
It's probably going to most times it's going to involve that. I'm sure it could also involve unmet expectations. And so the unmet expectation usually causes a communication glitch. That's usually what starts things. And then once you have miscommunication, then people make assumptions. Oh, well, about the other person and what they must think or do, or like, isn't it obvious that this is how you should or shouldn't be acting? There's all of that starts to kind of like unravel once the missed expectation occurs. So it'll probably be a conversation around all of that. I think it takes an extreme amount of awareness to be able to even have those kinds of conversations in a healthy way. But I believe that they can be repaired. It just takes a lot of work in that area, I think, is where the work will take place.
Okay, I agree. So this is so cool. This question, there is and I'll share this with you after we get off, but I just saw an episode from Diary of a CEO where he was interviewing a divorce attorney, and a lot of the questions had to do around relationships, like why do people, why do relationships end? Is it money? And we got into talking about sex, and actually I think you'll get a lot of value out of it. What he then started to share, and this question he asked about, if he could essentially say that people, like if it was a lack of love and that why people weren't staying together. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but the guy made some amazing points that when people have gotten to the stage where they're in his office and he asks them questions like, why did the relationship end? He goes, people tend to not dramatize, but he goes, the way people's perception, he goes, but what they may think is or what they may share with him, he goes, you have to recognize that you've landed where that you are at that point when many other things have taken place, and you trying to remember when that one insult may have gone too far that one night, and it put another nail in the coffin of whatever the terminology you want to use it. He goes, you're not necessarily you're not able to see that far back.
Mm.
To your point, I think out of almost everything you said, I think the mutual desire to want to repair a relationship, and I know we seem to be talking mostly romantic, but I
Mm.
think relationship, platonic as
Friendship
well.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think has to first start from a place of a desire for both parties to want that to happen. The other sides of it, and you brought up some actually many things I didn't even consider. I don't even know. I don't. I don't think we would even get to those places you're talking about if we first don't have a desire to fix
Mm.
this. If
Mm-mm.
both people aren't, whatever the things are that you see in it, again, if it's a friend, just a regular friendship or a business, I don't know whatever the relationship is, your parent, child, cousin, like whatever.
Mm-mm.
There has to be this desire from both people to be like, you know what, I want to be in your life,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Let's sit down and then you can get to the stages that you do talk to someone who probably has a perspective outside of the both of you, because to this gentleman's point, now I can't remember his name, you really it is hard when you're remote, because I remember most people, when you ask them to describe something, they can just talk about the pain. They don't even necessarily remember exactly what you said. They could just remember that it hurt. It's like, I don't even know what you said, and then you have arguments about, well, it's the way you said this thing. It's like all these other little semantic things, but there's an higher emotional conversation happening that we often, I don't think, have enough the language, the
Yeah.
skills to really get
So
in.
it's the
So
Maya Angelou quote, right? People don't remember what you said; they remember how you made them feel.
I didn't even know she said that. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Maya. I've heard that before. I did not, but I honestly did not know that came from her.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. So yeah, I definitely think you can repair a relationship. Just to get back to the question, I do think you can repair a relationship, and I love what you. I think you hit it right on the head in the beginning. It starts there with both people wanting to, or both parties wanting to fix it.
All right. Well, it's not just me and Winston who have thoughts around this. We are going to. You guys know us. We are fan
School of
favorites.
life. Yeah, these guys.
School of Life. If you ever see any of our episodes, we just want you to know we have so much gratitude for you and your platform.
Seriously.
So thank you so much for putting on another great video that we know we're going to enjoy. Neither Winston and I have watched this. We just figured that the topic
No.
itself would probably answer today's question. So I'm really excited to hear it out.
Let's do it.
How can we prevent our relationships getting damaged? Every day brings with it small challenges, disappointments, frustrations, and irritations that can come between even the most committed partners and subtly wears away at the intensity of their connection. To prevent this risk, lovers should regularly make room to ask themselves, in a calm spirit of gentleness, openness, and curiosity, two ostensibly simple yet hugely central and effective questions. Firstly, what are you angry with me about?
Okay.
And secondly, how have I scared you recently?
Oh.
Let's look at the first question. Without meaning to, we are constantly angering our partners by not being more of who they would hope us to be.
Oh yeah, the expectation.
And it's critical that this anger can be divulged and heard. So, in answer to the first question, we might explain how we are angry that our partner's friends are so boring, or that they don't have a better job, or that they leave the kitchen untidy, or that they worry so much about their mother. And they might get similarly angry with us that we are so nervous or bad-tempered, that we've been a stickler for manners, or that we judge other people harshly. We need not get angry while we divulge our anger. The mood can be serene and even playful. We don't need solutions or magical answers either. What really counts is that we have a chance to let go of our letdowns in an atmosphere of understanding and mutual apology. Then, to turn to the second question, love can be subtly throttled by fear. And that's why we should ask, how have I scared you recently? We scare each other all the time by being unreasonable, by being messy, by being unreliable. And fear erodes the trust that the small, vulnerable version of ourselves who lurks within us needs from someone in whom they choose to invest. There is in all of us a little child looking for a safe mummy or daddy, and who probably privately recoiled when our partners raised their voice with us or didn't come home when they said they would. Once more, in talking about these things, what matters isn't that we never cause an upset, but that we should hear a lover out politely when they tell us, sweetly and politely, that we have done so. We should stop denying our relationships the routine kind of maintenance that we don't hesitate to accord to a boiler or an outboard engine. We don't have to dread the mysterious end of relationships, so long as we regularly muster the courage to accept how much we may have angered and frightened those whom we are committed to loving.
Once again, School of Life. Thank you so much. What great 2 questions.
Yeah,
How have
absolutely.
I made you angry, and how have I scared you?
Yeah.
I
The
think
scaring one is a really good one, actually.
I was gonna. Oh my God, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I think people readily see the angry one, but the scaring one is real. Oh, that's a good one.
And
I
the
was. Oh,
Go ahead. No. You go. I'll share
I
mine.
was just gonna say that I was listening to Alison Armstrong. So, for those of you who don't know, Alison Armstrong is basically the guru that Tony Robbins goes to whenever he's trying to look for relationship advice, specifically between men and women. And she has talked about how a lot of times men don't even know that they do things that scare women. And just the amount of, I'll just leave it at that. And so there was one time when she was with her new boyfriend, and she started to like attack him. Like she was saying things that were like harsh or mean, like for no reason. And he was like, what's going on with you? And she like took a moment to be like, really, like, why did I just say that? And she was like, oh, I'm scared. And she was scared because he was driving fast. And so finally she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
I'm just scared. Like you're driving fast is actually making me like scared right now. And he was like, oh, okay, no problem. And he slowed down. And then like made things better. And she was able to apologize for saying what she said. Thankfully, he didn't necessarily get angry, but he picked up on the fact that like this is not her normal
State of being. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Emotions.
exactly.
Yeah. That so what you just said one made me think of something that happened earlier today. And that's why that the examples that they were giving about the fear aspect, it's not I feel like it is from the Allison's work that I may have been first introduced to, whatever, but I definitely know that's where I got a lot of it. Just this idea that women are afraid, and their response, I may interpret the response that I'm getting as anger or something else, and it's fear that's masking this, and which makes sense. It's this flight or fight, but it's just an odd thing that doesn't. I'm not always able to connect that in the moment, because now I may have an emotional response which has the defense mechanism, so I'm gonna not. There's there's empathy is the right word, but just this ability to be able to recognize what someone else is going through and maybe set yourself aside or something to be able to do that I'm happy I am developing. I'll say it that way, because I do know I'm able to recognize it way more and not let myself, again, my biggest thing is myself. And it's like, if I know my emotional state's shifting, then I'm aware enough now to be able to go, something around me is not, it's not feeling great, or I brought this emotion to it. And you said it maybe, was it last week? You were talking about energy and you used a different thing.
Oh yeah,
I think it
we
was
were talking
last
about a
week.
different topic, but energy is contagious.
Contagious. There we go. And this idea of this woman uses the term of owning the room, and she goes, or segment intending. And it's this idea of we're about to do another show. When we get off the show, you're going to go do something else, and it's separating Janelle, who just did this and may have to be a certain way, from the Janelle who has to step into the next segment of Janelle's life, and knowing that next thing may require a different energy or different, Janelle to show up there, and taking the time before you just, because I feel like we tend to just, I gotta get, and stopping and going, what do I want to happen next? How do I, because that's the control thing, but how do I want to be next, the next thing I'm about to do. And just really, I think mindfulness. You've talked about this a lot, actually. Just mindfulness. Maybe that's the right term to use in this, for this example. But I love these questions. I'm actually going to use these, like
Yeah.
legit use these.
Oh,
These are
100%.
great questions. Great questions. Seriously.
Let us know which ones do you feel like you're going to be using. We would love to know which questions you're going to use, both of them, one of them. Do you already use them? Let us know. We want to hear in the comments.
Yeah. Seriously.
But until we see you next Monday, as always, remember that you deserve the good life. Say that.
Say that. We'll see you guys. Enjoy your week.